Here and doing some vlog stuff today. Just wanted to chat about the Cardinals game last night, which was very disappointing, and give my thoughts and first impressions on Batman Arkham City, which is a pretty sweet game, but I'll get into that after I talk about the Cardinals, get the depression out of me real quick. Yeah, that was a tough game last night. I don't know how many of you guys watched it last night, but we ended up losing. We had the lead going into the ninth inning, 1-0. Conditions were very cold, so the hitting was, you gotta remember too that these teams have not seen each other. I think the last time we played the Rangers was 2004, and I think they beat us 2 out of 3. But geez, probably the only guys we have from that team are Chris Carpenter and Pujols, so it's totally irrelevant. It really doesn't matter. I mean, these pitchers have not seen the hitters and vice versa, so it's really tough for the hitters to make adjustments to pitchers that they've never seen before. So I kind of figured offense would be down and combine that with the weather as well. So it was a pretty rough game for the offenses last night, and we had the lead, had our closer Jason Mott in, and he just didn't get the job done. And then we brought in the lefty to face Hamilton. He flew out, which is typically good unless there's a runner on third base, and he gets a sac fly. Didn't really like the move there, and then he went to one of our rookie pitchers, Lance Lynn, who can get strikeouts typically. I mean, that was a pretty big strikeout situation, 1 out with a runner on third base. And he probably should have went to Dotel. I don't know if you guys have been watching the playoffs, but he's been our best strikeout pitcher out of the bullpen, and definitely I think would have been a better matchup against Michael Young, who's a good contact hitter but can strike out, and Dotel's really tough on right-handed batters, so I did question that. So that was pretty rough, and then we had some really bad at-bats after they had scored 2 runs in the top of the ninth and the bottom of the ninth. We got the leadoff runner on with a walk, and then our guys had 2 strikeouts and then a fly out. So that was pretty rough, and turned it off and started playing Batman Arkham City. So hopefully the Cardinals will get it back going tomorrow. We're going to Texas, and I think the offense will be better for both teams because we have the middle of the rotation pitchers going, and I think the hitters, just in general, love hitting in Texas. Warmer weather, smaller ballpark, ball just flies out of there. So I think it'll be a good series. I knew we wouldn't sweep Texas, but hopefully the Cardinals can pick it back up and get the lead in Game 3, which is a very important game. It's a swing game. Give us the lead in the series, and then we just have 2 wins left after that, hopefully. But hopefully the Cardinals can get it done. But like I said, I wanted to do some thoughts on Batman as well in this video. So let's talk about that. First impressions, it's a lot like Assassin's Creed, but better, because I'm a big Batman fan, always have been, and the fact that the guy that did the voice of Batman in the Batman animated series, which was one of my favorite TV shows growing up, was awesome. I think he has the best Batman voice, far better than Christian Bale. If there's one thing I don't like about Christian Bale, it is the Batman voice that he does, the really deep voice that I'm just not a fan of. I have a deep voice, and that's a lot deeper than my voice. So I think his name is Kevin Conroy. He just does a perfect job with that voice, and with that character, he's just perfect. And Mark Hamill's doing the Joker, as he did in the animated series, which was great too. So voice acting's top notch. Just the storyline's pretty cool so far. You really don't, you can't see things coming and stuff, and it's cool that it's like an open world environment. I really wasn't expecting that. By the way, I did not play the first one. I played the demo of Arkham Asylum, but I didn't play the full game. I probably should have, but I was just all the trailers and stuff I've seen for this game, I was really excited for it. So overall, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It took me probably 2 hours to die. I was doing pretty well. I was pretty surprised, and then I finally died. I was like, oh, that sucks. It's the game's pretty easy when you don't when you fight a bunch of guys that don't have guns, and then when you get to the part where they have guns, I mean, it's a pain in the ass at first, because it's hard to adjust to that, because you're used to just fighting in a big mob of guys, just mowing them down like you do in Assassin's Creed or God of War 3. The combat seems a lot like that. And then when you get to the guys with guns, they just start laying into you, and you just die. And I just kept dying and dying and dying. And I'm more of a first-person shooter, multiplayer type of, those are the type of games I typically play, or sports games. So I'm not the best at the fighting games and the action-adventure games. I'm getting more adjusted to it now after playing this game and playing like God of War and Uncharted and those type of games. Where it's like hand-to-hand fighting, but it's definitely an adjustment, and getting used to all his gadgets and stuff. It's pretty cool. It has a lot more stuff than I thought. I didn't think Batman could carry that much stuff on him at one time, but he has a lot of cool things that you can use, and the detective mode stuff is really cool. And there's a ton of villains in it, which is kind of good, as I get a text message there. Which is kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. It's like the more villains you use, the less you can save for the next game. I guess you can reuse villains too, but I think it kind of takes away, if you just show all the villains now and then, just kind of reuse some later. They probably should have saved a few, but overall it's pretty cool. I haven't really gotten too far. I've played probably like 5 hours, and I think I'm only like 7% done or 10% done, something like that. I can't remember. It's a pretty low number. The game is it's extremely long, which is really good. I hate playing those games where you beat it in like 7 hours and then you basically just have to go trade it in because there's nothing else to do. But it's similar to Assassin's Creed in the fact there's a lot of side missions and a lot of stuff to do other than the main storyline. I think Grand Theft Auto is like that too, which is really cool. So hopefully this is a game I can keep for a long time and won't just trade in. That was one thing that I did with Uncharted pretty much as soon as I beat it, and God of War 3. I think God of War 3 had some like challenge missions or something like that. I can't remember, or like an arena type of game type where you just fight a bunch of guys and do it within a certain time limit or something like that. But I really haven't messed with the side missions in Arkham City yet. Hopefully I'll get to that once. I want to beat the story first and then get to it. I was talking to Nestel because he'd already beaten the whole game. I didn't know that until he told me on the phone earlier today. But I wasn't sure if there was like a time limit, because I played Dead Rising 2 and that had a time limit on it. The actual story. I didn't know if that was like that too, because you guys, if you haven't played the game, you'll see, something happens to Batman where, his time might run out, and I really wasn't sure if you had to do the story in a certain amount of time, but it appears that you don't, and that's what Nestel told me too, so that was cool. So yeah, I want to beat the main storyline, and then I could probably do a full review on it. This is just kind of impressions and first thoughts, but overall, it's a really fun game. If you're a Batman fan, if you're an action-adventure game fan, I think you guys will enjoy it. If you guys like the Assassin's Creed type of games, where it's kind of open world, but at the same time, you have a main storyline to follow. But you also get a ton of side missions, and you get all the Riddler challenges and stuff too, which is cool. And there's just all kinds of stuff to do. Overall, I think it's a fabulous game. It can be frustrating at times because, or maybe not for some people, but for me at least, because I'm not really experienced with action-adventure games or puzzle-type games where you have to figure out things or figure out where to go, and it really doesn't give you any hints. That gets pretty frustrating for me personally, but overall, it's been great. It's been a lot of fun to have something to play besides Black Ops, which is not very fun anymore. So hopefully I'll beat the game, I don't know, within a week or so, I hope. It's tough with school and the Cardinals being in the World Series, and Battlefield will be out Tuesday, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll beat it within, I'll say, the next couple weeks, which would be great, but hopefully I'll hang on to it for a while, unless I really just get that itch to trade it in and get an Uncharted 3, which comes out, I think, November 1st, so I don't know. We'll see. But overall, I think the game is great. I'd give it, basically what IGN gave it, a 9.5 out of 10. I really, really do enjoy the game. But I mean, I haven't played the full game, so I don't know how the ending is or anything like that. But overall, it's a lot of fun. A bit frustrating at times, but the gameplay is smooth. The voice acting's good. Story's pretty cool so far. So overall, 2 thumbs up. If you guys, you can see my thumbs. But hope you enjoyed my impressions, and go Cardinals, and I will talk to you guys later.